Good evening. Bacterial cell, they are as unrelated to human beings as living things can be. But bacteria are essential to human life and life on planet Earth, although they are notorious for their role in causing human disease, from tooth decay to the black plague. They are beneficial species that are essential for good health. For example, one species that lives symbiotically in the large intestine manufactures vitamin K, an essential blood clotting factor. Other species are beneficial indirectly. Bacteria gives yogurt its tangy flavor and sourdough bread its sour taste. They make it possible for ruminant animals to digest plant cellulose and for some plants to convert nitrogen to a more usable form. Bacteria are prokaryotes, lacking well-defined nuclei and membrane-bound organelles and with chromosomes composed of a single closed DNA circle. They come in many shapes and sizes, from mini spears, cylinders, and spinal threads, to flagellated rods and filamentous chains. They are found practically everywhere on Earth and live in some of the most unusual and seemingly inappropriate places. Evidence shows that the bacteria were in existence as long as 3.5 billion years ago, making them one of the oldest living organisms on the Earth. In the late 1600s, Anthony van Leeuwenhoek became the first to study bacteria under the microscope. During the 19th century, the French scientist Louis Pasteur and the German psychologist Robert Koch demonstrated the role of bacteria as pathogens causing disease. The 20th century saw numerous advances in bacteriology, indicating their diversity, ancient lineage, and general importance. Most notably, a number of scientists around the world made contributions to the field of microbiology ecology, showing that bacteria were essential to food webs and for the overall health of the Earth's ecosystem. The discovery that some bacteria produce compounds lethal to other bacteria led to the development of antibiotics, which revolutionized the field of medicine. Cell wall, a rigid wall that gives the cell a structure and protects the plasma membrane. One of the most important structures of a bacterial cell is the cell wall. Bacterial cell wall have a few functions. They protect bacteria from busting. They also help bacteria maintain their shape. Finally, they control molecules going in and out of the cell. Scientists can use the thickness of the cell wall to identify and categorize different types of bacteria. Capsule. Some species of bacteria have a third protective covering, a capsule made of polysaccharides, complex carbohydrates. Capsules place a number of rows, but the most important are to keep the bacteria from drying out and to protect it from phagocytosis. By larger microorganisms, the capsule is a major virulence factor in the major disease-causing bacteria, such as Escherichia coli and Streptococcus pneumonia. Non-copulated mutants of these organisms are virulent. They don't cause disease. Plasma membrane, a layer of phospholipids and proteins called the cytoplasmic membrane, encloses the interior of the bacterium, regulating the flow of materials in and out of the cell. This is a structural trait bacteria share with all other living things, a barrier that allows them to selectively interact with their environment. Membrane are highly organized and asymmetric, having two sides, each side with a different surface and different functions. Membranes are also dynamic, constantly adapting to a different condition. Nucleus DNA. The nucleus is a region of cytoplasms where the demonstral DNA is located. H is not a membrane-bound nucleus but simply an area of the cytoplasms where the strands of DNA are found. Most bacteria have a single circular chromosomes that is responsible for replications, although a few species do have two or more smaller circular ocularity. DNA strands called plasmids are also found in the cytoplasm. Ribosomes are microscopic factories found in all cells, including bacteria. They translate the genetic code from the molecular language of the nucleic acid to the of amino acids, the building blocks of proteins. Bacterial ribosomes are similar to those of eukaryotics but are smaller and have a slightly different composition and molecular structure. Bacterial ribosomes are never bound to other organelles as they sometimes are bound to the endoplasmic reticulum, and eukaryotes are free-standing structures distributed throughout the cytoplasm. The cytoplasms are protoplasms of bacterial cells, is where the functions for cell growth, metabolism, and replications are carried out. It is the gel-like matrix composed of water, enzymes, nutrients, waste, and gases as container cells. Structures such as ribosomes, chromosomes, and plasmids. The cell envelope encases the cytoplasms and all its components. Unlike the eukaryotic cells, bacteria do not have a membrane-enclosed nucleus. Pilus. Many species of bacteria have pilus, small hair-like projections emerging from outside cell surface. Their outgrowths assist the bacteria in attaching to other cells and surfaces, such as teeth, intestines, and rocks. Without pili, many disease-causing bacteria lose their ability to infect because they're unable to attach to host tissues. Specialized pili are used for conjugations during which two bacteria exchange fragments of plasmid DNA. Plasmid. It is a small, often circular DNA molecule found in bacteria and other cells. Plasmids are separate from the bacterial chromosomes and replicable independently of it. They generally carry only a small number of genes, notably some associated with antibiotic resistance. Plasmids may be passed between different bacterial cells. Flagellum. A hair-like structure that provides a means of locomotions for those bacteria that have them. They can be found at either or both ends of a bacterium or all over its surface. The flagella beat in a proper light motion to help the bacterium move toward nutrients away from toxic chemicals, or in the case of photosynthesis, cyanobacteria towards the light. Thank you guys for listening for my bacterial cell presentation. That's all guys. Thank you.